It's either going to go really well or really badly over the next few days in the world of crypto. Of course, we've got the FOMC meeting coming up tomorrow, and that's all going to take place. And the price of Bitcoin, well, if it comes in at 0%, it's going to go absolutely mental. But if it comes in at 0.25%, prices are probably going to drop a little bit. If it comes in at 0.5%, kiss goodbye to $29,000 Bitcoin. The price is going to be $25,000 faster than you can click your fingers. Now, the question is at this point in time, what is the best move to be taking on the price of Bitcoin, and how are the markets responding to the way that Bitcoin has been performing, like the traditional markets, how are they performing? Because they can give us a good idea as to how Bitcoin is going to perform. Typically, look, if the Dow Jones index is dropping, then of course Bitcoin is likely to drop. But the interesting thing right now is, again, they're just showing so much strength. The S&P 500 closed up 0.4%. And the Dow Jones index closed up 0.5% yesterday. This is a 15-minute chart, so of course rallying throughout the course of the day. It's very strange to see Bitcoin struggling and the stock market not struggling at all, which I guess could be a precursor to a very good long position to be entering right now. And as I showed you in yesterday's video, I am in a short. I have closed the majority of that short now. We're only $121,000 short, $90 in a profit, and $500 odd loss because I know I don't want to get wigged out of this trade here. I'm not really interested in shorting Bitcoin from these levels. I don't think it is a particularly good time to be shorting Bitcoin, leading into a potentially massively changing rate hike. I mean, how else to describe it? If the rate hike comes in positive and nobody's expecting it to come in positive, then we could be on for some serious bullish momentum here. Because, of course, look at the rate hike percentages. It's still 98.9% chance of a 0.25% rate hike. I know that over the past couple of days, the Fed has actually warned against people getting too excited about no rate hike. It's interesting, though, because if it came in at no rate hike, then prices are going to get absolutely scatty. Now, today, of course, I'm going to be analyzing the price of Bitcoin, showing you what I plan to do with my open trades, and, of course, what are the next moves to be making in this market? Is it still better off longing Ethereum versus Bitcoin than it is longing Bitcoin? Or how are the markets going to perform? Because, of course, the altcoin market's had a bit of a blow over the past 24 hours, with the SEC potentially about to reignite their case against XRP. Now, we're going to discuss all of that. Do drop a like on this video. If you are new to the channel, of course, my name is Jordan. I've been trading crypto since 2013, and I'm pretty decent at my job most of the time. Not all the time, but most of it. We generally get most things correct here on the channel. So do drop a like, do subscribe, and of course, join the TMG club, which is just subscribing to the channel, really. Anyway, let's crack on. Ethereum versus Bitcoin's price. Up 0.27% over the past 24-hour period. This is the 5-minute chart. Of course, it's been rallying now for an extended period of time. But the question is this going to make a turnaround because of the change in the XRP case? Now, the SEC appeal is not a setback for Ripple XRP ruling, according to a crypto lawyer. But the problem is, at this stage, it appears that the SEC is going to appeal that judgment. Now, there's this thing in the USA that means that once a judge has made a judgment, that becomes law for 2 years minimum, meaning that it doesn't really matter what is the outcome of whether the SEC appeals the judgment. Ultimately, if they were found innocent again next time round in 2 or 3 years' time, still they would probably still appeal that judgment. Now, I'm still not 100% sure they're going to do it. They're threatening it. That's all they've done so far. I know that headline reads like they have already filed the appeal, but they've not already filed the appeal. But XRP's price is, of course, reacting pretty negatively to the fact that it seems quite likely an appeal is going to be filed. But I would like to point out, it doesn't matter what the outcome of the appeal is, because it's in 2 years' time. And until the next 2 years, if Ripple adoption really takes off, then it really doesn't matter. Because they're not going to unadopt it in a couple of years' time. So it's likely that the outcome will be the exact same, especially if it was the same judge on the case. I don't see why you would change your mind, having seen all of the evidence and sat through something for the past 2 years. It's also semi-likely that their appeal is immediately rejected, and that nothing ever really comes of it. So I don't really see an appeal in that case being that detrimental to the market. And so if an appeal is not going to be that detrimental to the market, and the Fed, the outcome of the meeting on Wednesday is not going to be that detrimental to the market, does it make sense to be buying Bitcoin here at $29,000 in anticipation of the Bitcoin halving that is coming up fairly soon? I mean, if we're to check in on how far away the Bitcoin halving is, it's going to be on April the 17th, 2024, in 266 days' time. we only have 2/3 of a year left until the Bitcoin halving takes place. And when the Bitcoin halving takes place, it doesn't matter what the SEC is saying. It doesn't matter what any lawmaker is saying. We all know that China and Japan, they're really big on crypto anyway, and they're starting to really grow those crypto economies out there just to kind of fight off the West and dominate the economy in Web3. So it really doesn't matter what Western economies and Western governments are saying about crypto. Bitcoin halving, by nature of what it is, which is cutting the block reward in two, meaning that it is now half as profitable to mine Bitcoin, always consistently in the past has caused Bitcoin's price to rise up at least 1,500% from the bottom. And if that is the case this time round, we're looking at a minimum $200,000 Bitcoin, a best case scenario of around $360,000 Bitcoin over the course of the next 2 years. And in that scenario, well, buying Bitcoin, yes, of course, buying Bitcoin spot at $29,000, that makes complete sense. However, should you buy it now or should you wait for a slightly lower time? Now, for me, I'm just holding a little bit back out of the markets right now. I've deposited a lot of Bitcoin into my BYBIT account today. And you can't see the thing right here, but basically I deposited 3.4 Bitcoin into my BYBIT account today in anticipation of what's to come. And of course, if you are interested in trading on BYBIT, do use the links in today's video description, because right now we're doing a lucky draw for new users. So if you never signed up on BYBIT before and you never made an account before, definitely sign up and make an account and start trading today, because you can win. And there won't be that many entries to this. There'll probably only be like 50 or 100 entries or something like that. You can win a ROLEX Submariner. And the actual criteria for winning a ROLEX Submariner is pretty simple. You only have to meet these 3 criteria and also be trading. You get 1 chance once you reach a derivative trading volume of $10,000, 3 chances of $100,000, and this is how you get more and more chances. I mean, for me, I'm doing above $1 million a day in trading volume, so straight away I'd be pretty much at those levels right there, and I get a bunch of chances to win. And it works in a lucky draw format, so all you do is press the spin button. Once you've signed up, made an account and started trading, then you become eligible for these random rewards. And of course, somebody actually wins this watch. It has been purchased. Somebody has to win it. So if you do want to win a ROLEX Submariner, like a $15,000, $20,000 watch, by all means, click on the link in today's video description. The other thing that you should check out in today's video description that I'm particularly excited for, and yesterday I was mentioning that I'm going to enter the World Series of Poker next year. Well, I'm already entered for this year's World Series of Trading. And do you want to join my team for the World Series of Trading this year? Because I think that you should. I think that it would be really fun to have you on board. And of course, last year, I placed first out of all of the YouTubers. So we're in a pretty good position. There's 26 people in the squad so far. Let's give this page a refresh and just see if anyone else has joined. But essentially, if you want to join this, it's well worthwhile. 28 people now. Be more people joining every moment. But essentially, it's just launched today. When this bar reaches the top, there is a $6 million prize pool for the winners of the competition. And we're going to be shooting for it. So if you do want to participate and you do want to win that competition, my squad's a pretty good one to be in. So please do check it out. You've got 12 days to get signed up and get registered, but you may as well register through the links in today's video description. You can only join my squad if you're on my link. So check that out. And or rather, you can only enter the ROLEX competition if you're on my link. You can actually join my squad if you're not on my link, but I'd recommend being on the link anyway, so you can enter the ROLEX competition. Either way, just to point out, that's all going to kick off soon. And of course, we're going to have some Bitcoin volatility on Wednesday. So you want to be involved in that as well. How's it all going to play out? It's going to be particularly interesting. From my perspective, I still favor Ethereum and altcoins over the Bitcoin market right now. Bid and inverse head and shoulders pattern going on here on the Ethereum US dollar chart. However, I'm also looking at these daily charts right now. Come on, scale, reset to auto. Shut up, Siri. That's the first time Siri's featured in a while in one of these videos. Come on. Why are we loading correctly? I wanted to show the daily chart. I'll just have to focus it like that. Anyway, my point here is, look, we've had this massive run up back in the last couple of years, drop back down, and currently we appear still very bullish. This is not a particularly bearish formation. The only concern that I have is a drop back down to this level right here on the price of Ethereum, around $1,500, which could coincide with some bad news tomorrow from the SEC, for example, not the SEC, sorry, the FOMC, if they decide to raise rates by 0.5%. But overall, I feel like right now is a really good time to be buying spot, not necessarily leveraging longs. I'm looking for those breakouts above those resistance levels. So let's check in and have an assessment of what those resistance levels are that we should be potentially playing right now. The key one for Ethereum is it needs to crack the high that it formed earlier today. So a break of above $1,865 on the price of Ethereum would mean that we break back into this trading range here, and then the high is somewhere around $1,920 or $1,940. So that'd be a pretty significant move back to the upside. On the price of Bitcoin, the level of which we need to watch would be a break back within this formation right here, which would be a break of $29,500. We break $29,500, it reopens that $30,000 range again. But the thing is, it's all going to kick off tomorrow. So I want to have my trades placed before then. And the question is, what do we do? If we're losing $29,000 on Bitcoin, things are looking pretty rough. So I would say have some stop losses around $29,000. Don't be trading longs below that level, because it's likely that we'd suffer a significant breakdown and then everybody would go short. And if everybody's going to want to be going short, you want to jump on that trade for a short period of time. And I'm already technically in that trade, just not in a very large committed way. So that kind of covers today's trading assessments. However, a couple more things to point out would be some bullish news that Binance is seeking to dismiss the CFTC lawsuit that was put against them recently because it's incomplete recitation of facts. And Binance Japan is going to begin operations in August as they expand into Japan, which again, very crypto-friendly area right now. And of course, the US Federal Reserve officials warn against declaring an early victory on inflation. This is the thing that I was talking about earlier today, where they're just trying to downplay it a little bit. They don't want people going crazy for this market right now. I don't understand why, because it looks pretty good. And we all know that within the next 12 months, things are going to have recovered so significantly that the price of Bitcoin, the price of Ethereum is going to be much higher than where it is now. So it does make sense to have some. But of course, another thing that I'm trading right now is the price of XTP. XTP's price is back up at 24 sats today, looking very healthy. Of course, if we look down here, you can see that there is certainly more buys coming in than sells. There's a lot more green than there is red. And then, of course, on the order book, looking very, very strong on the buy side and nowhere near as weak, or just much weaker on the sell side. So just a little bit more volume stimulation on XTP, and we'll see the price going up significantly. Volume hasn't really dropped off, still $167,000 worth of buying and selling over the past 24-hour period. Another breakout coming today? Well, we will see as I post the interview to the main channel. But on that note, guys, please drop a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. I know a lot of you commented yesterday about the poker tournament thing that I'm talking about hosting. If you are interested in me hosting a poker tournament for all my subscribers, let me know, comment section below, and have a great day. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.